All right, guys. So this week we watched 3,000 Years of Longing, which is the directed by George Miller, who also directed all the Mad Max films. In case you recognize his name, starring Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. That's really it. It was adapted from the book The Djinn in the Nightingale's Eye, and we have a little synopsis for you. So while attending a conference in Istanbul, Dr. Alithia Bini happens to encounter a djinn who offers her three wishes in exchange for his freedom. This presents two problems. First, she doubts that he's real, and second, because she's a scholar of story and mythology, she knows all the cautionary tales of wishes gone wrong. The Jinn pleads his case by telling her fantastical stories of his past. Eventually, she's beguiled and makes a wish that surprises them both. So, this is our non-spoiler, of course. We're starting off, and where do you want to start, Anthony?
Okay, I just want to put it out there that I'm extremely excited for this review because I have no idea where your head is going to be at. I think we could
Yeah,
be on the same page or two different books. And it sucks that Edward isn't here too, but I just feel like I'm I can't read what y'all think about this movie. But yeah, so also I didn't see any promotional advertisements for this. I didn't see any trailers, I didn't even read the synopsis, like anything. So going into this movie, I had no idea what I was expecting.
I'll tell you this: the movie was way different. Not way different, but like it was a little. It was different than what the trailer showed. Like I thought it was going to be a different movie than it
Right.
was. And I also will give you all this caution. I don't think this movie's for everybody.
Okay.
I'll say that too.
So I have a few contradictory opinions.
You have cons.
Yes.
All right, we can start with the cons.
But I think it helps that Edward's not here because I'm going to take a little bit more time to
That's
kind of
fine.
explain.
That's fine.
So originally, my biggest con was the the way that we the way they set up the movie. The way they set up the movie was kind of like so the way the kind of movie was set up was the genie was a storyteller. You know, he was kind of telling the story of his past of past like famous people like Prince Jafar, is that his name?
No, that's Aladdin, bro. I
No, that's what
don't
he
know.
said.
Really? I don't
Mustafa.
know. He was a
Mustafa.
prince. Yeah.
Anyways, like a lot of famous people like that. But my biggest con in the beginning was like the fact that it was just storytelling. Because I was like, look, if you want to tell the background of the genie, tell the background of the genie, but don't have this like subplot of the modern day of him explaining it to this woman. You know what I mean?
Don't show all. Kind of. I'll kind of help you because as with my con a little bit. There was just a lot of exposition slash dialogue,
Yes. Yeah,
and
there's
some
a
of it
lot. This is
that's a
the whole
big.
movie.
Yeah, it was a big problem because it kind of subverts expectation. I thought it was like original. I thought it was kind of cool that this movie is based on like all his stories, and that whole point is like that's all he's ever had. It was really just stories to tell.
Right.
That's what kept him contempt in his like solitude. But like at the same time, it was a little much. Like
Hmm.
it was a little much. Nothing else really happens besides the exposition.
I will say the reason I said that was originally my con is because, like, from a theatrical, like a critical standpoint, it was a lot. Like the exposition, I don't think it was very good. But with that being said, like I strangely enjoyed it a lot. Like I know it wasn't the best way to do it, but I was hooked on his storytelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
think
I
that's what
think
they hoped for. Yeah,
right. I think like his voiceovers while it showed the story like that. Actually really enjoyed that. So I think I changed that from a con. I think it still can be a negative though because there could have been better ways to achieve it. But
and that it kind of connects to this other one I had is just that it takes place all in one room, which is fine. But I don't typically like movies that take place in one setting.
right, right,
You have to do it pretty well. And I mean, the only thing that doesn't count is because there's flashbacks, but it is all in one room. He's just telling his stories.
Right. And so that kind of leads into my official like main con is because of the way they did it, because it was like in one room and he was just telling the story. To me, it felt like two different movies almost. Like I like were they trying to make the movie about the genie's background and experience in past life, or are they trying to make it about the present day, about the two of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell like which what is the point of the movie? Was it to explain the past or was it to develop the present?
Uh,
I feel like they just split it up too much. It was like two different storylines almost.
it was to develop the present because you got to remember at the same time the reason the professor wasn't doing any wishes, and he needs those three wishes so he can be free. The
Right.
reason she wasn't doing hold on. The reason he wasn't doing any wishes was because, or she wasn't doing any wishes was because she knows like how like cautious you have to be with genies. Like she doesn't want to just like she doesn't want him to like do anything like to manipulate her words or to twist her wish.
Right.
That's why the whole time she was like, "Oh, well, tell me like all this stuff," and then he would get into his story. He's like, "Oh," he would get like be like kind of sorrowful. He'd be like, "Oh, well, I'm I've always been in solitude. Like, why would I like fake a wish? Like, I'll give you whatever you want. I just fulfill the three wishes so that I can basically
Right.
be free and you know alive." He's seen it's been literally 3,000 years of longing.
Right.
That's what I got out of it. The only issue, like you said, was it felt like two stories to me because the third act was kind of
Yeah.
not it.
Exactly. Like it
The way
didn't.
that they failed to tie it together, in my opinion,
Yeah, I think so too.
or
Well,
maybe not necessarily failed, but it didn't do it in a good way.
right. They did tie it together. Like they brought the concepts of his stories into real life or into the present day, but it just wasn't it for me.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
it was kind of weak in the
one
end.
last quick con that I had. Um, so she made the genie appear, or the what's he called? Jin or something?
Yeah, a gin, yeah.
The Jin. So then she made the Jin appear, and she like wasn't at all shocked. She was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're real." Like as if she just knew. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. And this isn't a spoiler. All this we're saying is like kind of in the synopsis. So, but
Mhm.
I would say she's been studying that kind of stuff, though, like mythology. So I feel like out of everyone, she'd be the one that's least surprised.
I don't know. Even if I was studying it, I wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was weird how like calm she was, but
But then
yeah,
the only explanation I gave myself, and if this is true, if this is what they're going for, then I understand it. But the very, very first scene, there was some weird, like goblin looking dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I wonder, like, maybe that's a normal thing. Maybe like these, like some of these mythological type creatures or whatever, or maybe he was just a normal person and I'm just an asshole. No, but maybe like everyone in that universe kind of knows that they're real. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not like a doubt,
yeah.
but
I'll have to explain that in the spoiler section.
okay.
Yeah. So then we'll just go into the pros. Do you want to start us off? Or you want me to go?
Either way,
Either way. Oh, you were just talking. I can go. Um, this movie, like any other George Miller movie, visually it's like super eye pleasing.
it
It's
is.
like
Yeah,
really fun to watch with all the visuals and all the different styles of each story and each time period. Because like we said, there's through flashbacks, so each time period they show different time periods, which is like really cool. I really enjoyed seeing all of it come together like that.
right. Me too.
That's probably my biggest pro I have.
Mine kind of goes hand in hand with yours. Mine was just like the storytelling from the gen was just like so immerseful and like it, I don't. It was really really good. It like really got me hooked. It was like thought provoking. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
It was just that was the best part of the movie by far. to me. Like the way he told the stories and like developed them and everything.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I loved that. I thought every bit of the past, like all the parts where it was showing the past and it was telling that story, I loved all that. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
most of
I
my
did
problems
too.
was the present day.
Yeah.
So
Which I think this movie has a lot more problems, but at the same time, they he is trying to say something, and I think I got the point across. We'll have to go into spoilers on that.
mm.
But like I said, this movie's not for everybody, so I kind of like neutral on recommendation of it.
Well, see, I'd recommend it. I think I'd recommend it because it's cool just to like sit back and watch like the different time periods, like you said. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and it's also you also could recommend it because it's also kind of original compared to other
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
It's
it's
very
really
different
original
than what you would think, especially if you go into it blind.
for
So
sure.
make your best judgment. And if is that all the pros you have for now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, thanks for watching. If you want to, we're gonna go in the spoilers next. So if you've seen the movie, and I don't think a lot of people have, to be honest, because of the marketing, and I'm not sure if it did too well at the box office, but which is crazy for a George Miller film. But if you have seen it, we're gonna go into spoilers next. If you haven't seen it, come back later when you have seen it. We'll go into spoilers. And just thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a review, a like, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, a rating on any other podcast platform. And yeah, say it to your mom first. Okay, this is our spoiler review. What do you want to get into first? You want to just go off of what you were saying?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So what was it about the goblin?
So, well, actually, I say that I don't have, I guess, much more to elaborate on that part. Do you?
Yeah. So I was in the same boat at the end of the movie. I was like, what was the point of that goblin and that
Right.
other like weird thing? I feel like that's kind of not. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if this would make sense, but I think it's like the Jin's way of like luring her. But at the same time, when she went to get the bottle, it was like nothing. Like nothing really lured her there.
Right. I don't know. Well, because I feel like what did the goblin even do? And she wasn't surprised to see it. It wasn't. It was like normal.
She was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
She
I
wasn't
don't
like,
know.
"Oh, it's a weird creature." She was just like, "What the heck? Who are you?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
She also did say, "Who are you?" to the little glass bottle, didn't she? Wait, no, never mind. That was something later in the movie. I don't remember what, but
That was kind of cool though. Whenever she left the bottle open for him to come out, whenever.
yeah, it's funny. I was texting Noah like while I was watching this movie, and she opened the bottle, and this all the smoke came out. I'm like, did she just summon a magic genie? And then she actually did. I was like, oh, I was not expecting that. I was just,
You saw his like bare body, all huge.
no, I saw his feet
Yeah, his little
in the
foot
door. I
or
was
his
like,
big foot. And that's what's funny too, because she wasn't stunned at all. She was just
what
like,
at all?
she was more like curious. She was like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah.
And
She
she's
was
like,
like, I'm
"I
gonna
know
count
about
to
you,
three,
Jins."
and I want you to be gone. Like, bro.
Like, bro, he just sat there. He's like, "Whatever, whatever, dude."
But yeah,
Any more cons?
I just, I guess, want to reiterate that I just was not feeling the present day story. I don't know. It just too many things were like off for me. Too many things like didn't. I don't know. It just wasn't there for me.
Didn't resonate with you.
Yeah.
I I thought it was. I got it. She wasn't necessarily like. Was she in love? Was she in love with him, or did she just do that because they're both in solitude and it'd be
No.
better for
So
the both of them, kind of thing?
okay. Do you want to? Can I get in? Do you want to get
Yeah,
into like the ending type
yeah,
part?
yeah,
Okay. So the way I took it was that he spent this whole time talking about his past and about how he got trapped into this bottle at least twice. I don't think it was all three times, but it was at least twice because he was in love,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
two of those times he was in love with the woman and got trapped. So it was almost like a reincarnation type story, you know? Like
Yeah,
he was meant to be in love with somebody, and she thought, well, I found you next, so it's my obligation, it's my duty to like, it's
give
like
you.
it's my turn next. Like
Oh,
I have to be in love with you, to keep the cycle continuing. That's what I got out of it, which I thought was a dumb reason because I don't think she loved him. But
well, she wished to love for him to love her because I thought it was because she sees her and him because of all of the solitude and how long they've been like isolated. Which obviously she has not been isolated as long as him, but
right,
she
that's
does feel
possible.
like alone. She does feel like she's been
But
longing.
they've met for like an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not. You're not going to fall in love with somebody in an hour.
I think it also is when he was in love, he wasn't desperate to ask for wishes. He loved being there in the present moment with
Right.
his lover. So by her saying it's kind of unselfish because by her saying, "Oh, I want you to fall in love with me," it doesn't give him really any obligation for her to do the other wishes because she didn't want to do the other wishes regardless.
But I feel like that is selfish then.
Well, yes and no. It's kind of selfish, but at the same time, like he's done this before and like he didn't really realize it. Like he was okay living there because he was in love with somebody.
I guess so.
So like in a sense they're both in solitude and she kind of thought that wish would be best for both of them because he can in a sense kind of feel free to do whatever he wants.
Right.
But
And then yeah, because you see that, and he was just living life. He wasn't worried about the wishes. He was just like living normally.
yeah, exactly.
But
That's
then
kind of what I took out of it. But like I said, the third act was kind of eh.
yeah, so that's another thing. I feel like they split the third act into almost. I mean, they didn't develop them both, but two different story ideas.
Mhm.
One was that he can't be in the present day because of technology. Technology messes with his like magical
Magical being
being.
or
You know
something.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And then the other part was he can't he can't stay there because he's not truly in love. You know what I mean? Like that's where not where he's not supposed to stay in a period like that for long periods of time.
yeah,
So it's like, well, which one is it? Is
yeah.
he Can he not be around technology, or is he not in love?
It's funny too because I forgot about that whole electromagnetic thing,
That was dumb.
and then he could like hear the sound waves or something of
Yeah,
everything. I don't know. And he's like, "Oh, I get used to it." I don't know. It was really strange.
and it
There's a lot,
almost killed him.
huh?
It almost killed him.
Yeah. Maybe there's more to it than what we're saying, but maybe there's like two or three different ways you can interpret the story. But like,
Right.
this is just like what we think. I don't know personally. Um, do you have any other pros?
Um, Not necessarily. Not that it's not that I don't have pros. It's just the one pro I do have is really really good pro in my opinion. The storytelling and the
Yeah,
immersiveness and
yeah.
everything in the past. I loved.
I do like that it took risks like that
Yeah.
in a movie, especially for a movie that was like short. Because the halfway through the stories, I didn't think the stories were going to be that long. Like I thought,
Mhm.
oh, maybe this would be like the first half, and the second half will be about them or something like that. That's obviously not how it went, but
I will say I didn't under. I, this is just me. I don't think it's because of the movie. I did not understand the whole story with the guy that loves big naked women. I
oh,
didn't get like why did he not want to be king, and why did he not like I didn't get all that storyline.
I thought he did want to be, or they were going to force him to be king because his brother. They thought his brother died, right?
Right. But why was he like a big baby or
I thought he wanted to. No, she only said that so that his brother wouldn't kill him.
oh okay.
Like oh, he's harmless. He's just sensitive or something.
Oh
I
that makes
think didn't they want to have children, bear a child or something?
possibly yeah.
That's my best guess. I don't quite remember. He just kind of yeah, he kind of disappeared, huh? He just kind of sat in there, stayed in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is the prince came back or whatever. The king.
Yeah, and it's because he became king that the other lady went to go take a bath and slipped and fell on the tile.
I actually laughed at that part.
That was funny.
She was like, "No, get back in there. I don't want to mess with you." He's like, "No, please, please, please help me,
Oh, she was ruthless.
dude, for real." But I guess that brings me to my last pro is just that Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton did a real good job. I thought they had pretty solid chemistry.
Yeah, I think so too.
But that's all I have, man, for today.
That's all I have.
Okay, ratings. Oof.
Oh,
I
that's
am really, really mixed.
okay. What are your thoughts?
I don't think it would be lower than a 5 for me.
Okay, okay.
I
I was
guess,
thinking
yeah,
6
I was gonna say maybe like a 6. Yeah,
or
yeah,
six point
I can do a
six point
6.
five.
That point five for me would only be added for like originality.
Right.
Oof.
Well, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
I wanted to give it a 7 just because of how much I like genuinely enjoyed watching it and because of the originality.
Yeah, go ahead then.
But it's just I don't know. And the present story for me isn't there. So I don't know. I go to 6.5.
6.5. I'll give it a 6. Which is funny because I'm a lot more like clear about the movie, but like walking out of it, I was super mixed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't know what I would give this movie. I don't really. I didn't know how each of us would take it, like you said.
Yeah. I wonder what Edward thinks. I think he'll
I,
either be on par with us, like around a 6, or a dead like 1.
I was gonna say I don't. I feel like he probably didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't think
Maybe he did. Who knows?
we'll see. We'll let y'all know on Instagram.
Maybe.
Yeah, true. But thanks for watching, everybody. This sorry that Edward couldn't be here, but next week he will be for sure. Hopefully. Um, make sure to follow all of our Instagram accounts, our YouTube, everything like that. Leave a comment, leave a like, whatever.
Under the same name, the
Yep.
Hooligan Hangout.
All
And
right.
say hi to your mom for us.
See you later.
Bye.